welcome everyone. It's wonderful to have you all with us today. And we have a very special guest that I have been working with over the last few months, and it's been absolutely delightful. So I'd love to introduce you to Tony Shakib, who is the CEO of Stella. And I'm an advisory board member. That's my disclaimer, and happy to be one, and really excited about the fantastic work that they're doing. So we're going to chat with Tony today, just a little bit about him, his journey, his career, which has been absolutely remarkable, and also a little bit about what they're doing at Stella, because I'm so excited about it, and it's absolutely riveting. They're going to transform the tech industry. So with that, Tony, thank you. It's so fantastic to have you with us today.
Thank you, Tracy-Ann. It's my absolute pleasure to be here with you, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So look, I've read a lot of resumes and bios, okay? And there's all those people that you always look up to in the industry. I have been fascinated with your remarkable career, and I'd love you to just share with everyone today just a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do that. I've been around for a while. My career goes back, I don't know, over 30 years. I spent 18 years with Nortel, actually Bell Northern Research, which was a fun place to be. Back then in late 80s, we were working on speech recognition and a lot of the advanced AI stuff that's mainstream today. We were pioneering it back then. I was CEOs of 3 different startups. So I went from a big company to smaller companies and got the taste and the fun of that, which was great. Then I actually went and worked for Cisco for 8 years, and it was a remarkable job. 4 years based out of London, running emerging markets, 144 countries, and every day in a different country, from South Africa to Brazil to you name it. That was fun. And then the last 4 years at Cisco, I completely switched and went into Internet of Things, something I didn't really know much about, but it helped me learn a lot about different industries and how do we apply technology to transform these industries. And then I realized, hey, a lot of the magic actually happens in software, not so much in hardware. And that's where I had a good pleasure of going to Microsoft for 8 years. Incredible company. Really loved that whole journey with Satya. Had never met so many smart people, and especially the way they were pioneering the AI, learned a lot. It was a great time there. And, then I felt like it was time to take on another challenge. And about a year ago, I came across Exostellar, really fell in love with the technology and the team, and, had the pleasure of being the CEO of Exostellar for the last year.
Well, it's really been an incredible journey. Some of the best of breed organizations, having worked with Cisco, and
Very lucky.
what a great career. Now, let's pivot to where you are now. You've gone from the Microsoft of the world and the Ciscos of the world to Stella. I know you're doing some remarkable things. And first of all, congratulations on your 1 year anniversary.
Thank you so much.
So let's talk a little bit about why the move. What made you pivot?
Yeah, when you're at a big company like Microsoft, you take a lot of things for granted. It's a massive company, a lot of resources. You can basically go see anybody in the industry. Your sales team is very powerful. But then again, you're a small player in a very big company, and you only touch a slice of what's going on. What intrigued me to go back to run a company like Exostellar is that you get to do it all. One day, you're talking to the board of directors, about the future of the company. One day you're talking to your customers, helping them imagine, the value that we could bring forward. One day you're talking to your team. It's just a whole diversity and like all the things that you get to do. It's a lot more challenging, but a lot more fun. And honestly, as much as I miss Microsoft, I'm having a ton of fun here. And it's great to, try to do something very different in the industry that's never been done before. That's what we're trying to do here, and that's what attracted me to come to Exostellar.
Yeah. And it's interesting you say that, because I really, that really resonates with me. I'm sure it's going to resonate with a lot of, folks that are listening as well, because not only do you get to do it all, but you get to have a significant impact. And when I think of even the conversations that you and I have had, you've got this breadth of knowledge, which sometimes in a larger company can get stifled. Right, because you're in your lane and you're doing your thing, but in this way you're able to really extend yourself across this amazing organization and add value, both in the industry, because obviously you're doing, futuristic things, but you're also able to do it in the company. And I've witnessed you already doing that, right? You're taking all that knowledge and that acumen and you're sort of putting it and positioning it everywhere, which is really wonderful to see. What I want to go to next, though, is tell me about, or tell the audience about Exostellar. What are you doing?
It's a great question. Sometimes I ask myself, in all seriousness, the whole world is being disrupted by AI. Gen AI, took the world by surprise, but it's just so amazing in terms of, the things that it could do. Gen AI at its core is powered by compute. Compute is like the major element that drives it forward and gives it the power and the knowledge that could be accumulated to transform every industry. And then compute, it becomes a commodity, is a resource that is hard to get, is super expensive, and a ton of it is wasted. So one of the things that when we were looking at the business case for Exostellar, when I was looking at it, is if you project forward over the next 3 to 5 years, there's going to be about $1.5 trillion spent on infrastructure, of which the majority of it is compute, right? And at the same time, everybody, is trying to become profitable. All these AI companies, they're doing a lot of innovations, but not many of them are making money, right? So what we want to do is to help them use the compute a lot more effectively, a lot more efficiently, get rid of the idle cycles, the underutilization, and to help them become profitable and much more productive for the society. That's the problem that we're trying to solve. And we're right at the heart of that.
One of the largest struggles for CIOs is that they're trying to justify their spend. They're trying to justify the outcomes, right? And the expense has gone up and up and up. There's not one cloud. Most companies today have 2 to 3 clouds, public, I'm talking about. That's not including all the private cloud and everything else. And those costs have become exorbitant. Now you take into consideration AI, you can't put that storage cost into your public cloud. You'll go out of business, quite frankly. It gets really expensive. If you're trying to do a lot with AI, a lot of innovation, a lot with database infrastructure, etc., right? So what really compelled me to what I've seen is the value you bring is you can bring that cost effectiveness, that performance, that optimization to your customers, which they have not been able to achieve to date.
That's absolutely true. I mean, Tracy-Ann, you have extensive background in this space. You get it, you understand it. We've been doing a lot of interviews, and in fact, the number one concern for the CEOs and CFOs of all the large enterprise organization is the cost of compute.
Yeah.
And I recently attended a conference in San Diego, a FinOps conference. There were thousands of big enterprise companies from American Express to American Airlines, all sorts. They were there to manage their cost of compute, right? Which is major. Now, at Exostellar, there's actually 4 elements that we're trying to target together. Certainly, cost is one element, is very important. Everybody's trying to get it under control. And a lot of the large companies that I talk to, they're still mainly running their workloads on-prem. And the cost calculation shows that the cost of cloud is about 2.5 to 3x higher than running it on-prem, right? Even though they don't want to own the infrastructure and manage it, but there's a huge price hike to go to the cloud.
Yep.
What we're trying to do is to actually help them and the cloud providers to close that gap,
Yes.
by making it a lot more efficient, taking advantage of lower cost plans that they don't have to sign up to for 3 years, and get as close to on-prem pricing while being in the cloud and taking advantage of the cloud and the elasticity of the cloud. So cost optimization is one thing. The other thing that's equally important these days, especially on the GPU and Gen AI space, is availability. There's a massive crunch. People want to get 1,000 GPUs, they can't. So they need to figure out ways that if I'm only going to get 300, how do I run the same amount of throughput that would have run on 1,000 on the 300 that I can get? So we also help them with availability. Reliability is another thing that's super important. The way their training models, running inferences, and by the way, we also heavily cater to the high performance computing community, right? So to have a reliable system that if certain resources are not available or go away in real time, I can do a live migration and run it somewhere else. That's important. And then the fourth aspect is sustainability. If we can save them cost, and less compute, that means there is less CO2 that needs to be emitted to run, and power these, servers that they're using. So honestly, it has an effect across all four vectors. And that's what we're trying to handle in a completely autonomous way. No human intervention, with our middleware just handles that completely automatically.
Yeah, it's such a powerful story. I think about what you just said just out of the gate. The gap. Companies actually want to put more in the cloud. They haven't been able to because it's been cost prohibitive. Then you take into the optimization, you take in the reliability. I mean, why wouldn't companies use Exostellar? I suppose is my question, right? Why wouldn't they? It makes such sense. So
Yeah.
talk to me about the future.
Yeah,
Where's the company going in the next 5 years? Give me the scoop here.
absolutely. Happy to. So the future, we always want to be one of the most innovative companies in the world. As you know, the company was incubated out of Cornell University by two amazing professors and their postdoc student, who's our CTO. And it was all based on innovation. And right off the bat, we try to create a technology that could do cloud cost optimization in a very different way. And the way that we did it with a capability that we could do live migration of workloads while they're running. And a lot of people don't believe it. They say that's impossible until we show it to them. So what we do effectively is, we deploy this innovative technology to intercept any kind of workload that a customer might have, whether it's high performance computing in the Kubernetes space and now in ML and AI. And we also couple that live migration technology with an AI prediction engine that looks at all the available resources in a heterogeneous environment that a customer might have access to, and always place it in the most optimum location to give it the maximum utilization with no human intervention, right? So that is our promise. The other thing that we do for our customers is to make it very easy to simple to install. So right now we can install our software, one-click install under 20 minutes. And then the third thing that we want to do is to get them to value under 24 hours. So the ones that don't believe that we can save them, we actually have a dashboard that within 24 hours, which is the fastest turnaround time that, for example, we can get on AWS, collect all the data, do the optimization, and show them that we're saving you, like $2,000 in a day or $5,000 in a day. And then lastly, we only get paid if we save them money. So they have nothing to lose. It's very easy to install it, very easy to see the value. And then we only take a small portion of the savings. So we try to make it, we know that the future of compute is going multi-cloud. Our migration technology has the ability to actually move workloads between the clouds. And we also know a lot of customers already have their on-prem. They're not going to walk away from it, but they want to burst into the cloud or grow into the cloud. And we're also are going to evolve our technology to be able to do that all seamlessly, all autonomously, and always with the focus to drive costs down, bring more availability, reliability, and have a green solution. So that's the innovation that we have today. We started on the CPU side. It's working. We have large customers. We're very happy and fortunate to have that. We have a great partnership with Synopsys, one of the largest EDA customers in the world. And now we're working very hard and have proof of concept to extend it into the GPU space. And honestly, to the best of my knowledge, we're the only company that can handle both CPU and GPU at the same time. Because every workload, especially AI workloads, as much as everyone thinks that it's all on GPU, it's not all on GPU. There's still a big part of it on the CPU. And if we can autonomously handle both, I think that will be quite a unicorn in this space.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really, I'm sitting here, I just think to myself, I mean, you need to just have these customers, certainly the ones that I know and I've been working with, clamoring right now. You know,
Yes,
there's no reason to not have a conversation, because I do think the value that you're bringing, Tony, is remarkable.
I appreciate that.
One thing I know that we're working on together is a little bit of your channel strategy. You've come from very strong companies with strong channel backgrounds. So for all of those partners out there that are interested, we're definitely going to be knocking at your doors to bring you into the ecosystem and be working with us. Tony, I don't know if there's anything that you want to add about that.
So partners is they're at the heart of our strategy to scale and grow the company.
Yeah.
And we've built a product in a way that's very partner friendly, that we can work together with them to whatever business model that makes sense, whether it's white labeling it or helping them be a reseller. And we're a small company. We're all about innovation. We
Yeah.
want to work with our partners to bring this to a broader set of customers. And honestly, I'm so excited to be working with you and the vast experience that you have and the connections to really get the word out to
Yeah.
the partner community and the channel community that we have a dramatically different technology, that it's very self-managed and self-delivery of the results, right?
Yeah.
So, we want to get out there, we want to talk to everybody.
So, Tony, as we wrap up here, any last thoughts for the listeners here today?
First of all, I wanted to thank you, and we're so lucky to have you as an advisor. Your experience, your wisdom, your guidance, your mentorship means a lot to me. As a CEO that's trying to do everything, just to have somebody that you can talk to, but get really powerful, pointers on focus and execution, because that's what it's all about, right? So thank you for doing that. We're very excited about this technology. Honestly, it's very innovative. It's very different than anything else out there. And we try to make it so simple to use, so effortless, and with a business model that you got nothing to lose. So I really encourage everybody to go to our website, learn more about our solutions, and or call our sales. There's a link in there for our sales team. Please give us an opportunity to show you what we've got, and then you decide for yourself whether you want to proceed or not. But really happy to be here. Thank you for this session, and it's great to be talking to this audience.
I have been so impressed with the team that Tony has assembled around him. So please, go to exostellar.io, learn more about the company, learn more about Tony. Just know that the footprint and the journey has begun. They are now in the cool vendor quadrant for Gartner. So lots more to come. And you're going to be seeing a lot of buzz around the community around exostellar.io. So with that, Tony, always a pleasure. Love spending time with you. And thank you so much for being with us today.
My pleasure as well. Thank you so much.